So this is my brain, and this is my brain on Christmas. Did I buy enough? Did I buy too much? Am I going to look extravagant? Am I going to look cheap? Can we afford this? Can we not afford this? What do I need to do? How much can I spend? How much can I not spend? Over and over and over again, I am like losing my mind every Christmas. And if there's one Christmas do-over that I could have, for instance, it would be the time that my daughter, when she was about 9, wanted a Sony Discman for Christmas. And I thought $160 was too much to spend. So I went online on eBay, which was new at the time, and on Christmas morning she opened a brand new Korean CD player that only played Korean CDs. And I don't just have this sort of cheapness problem with, with my children, right? I'm also this way about myself. So I'm a freelance writer, and the only piece of equipment that I need to do my job is a computer. So I have a computer that is so old that if it were a dog, it would be 77. I mean, it is slow, and it is tired, and it is full, and I'm sitting often in front of it screaming, what is wrong with you? Why won't you work? All I'm asking for is a simple document. And my husband comes in one day and he says, Catherine, it's a business expense. Buy yourself a new computer. But do I go to Best Buy and buy a new computer? No, I do not. I go on eBay and I buy a used HP, a refurbished HP, that has, when it's delivered, turns out to have no Wi-Fi, no Microsoft Word suite, and no camera in the monitor, so that I can't even Skype, but I have saved $300. So a couple Christmases ago, I get a call from my daughter, and she says, I need to have surgery to fix a ligament in my hip. And don't worry, because I'm going to have a surgery on Monday. They say I'm going to be on crutches by Tuesday, and I'm going to be driving by Friday. And I think, no, you're not. Nobody has surgery on their hip and is driving by Friday. So I cash in some frequent flyer miles, and I fly out to California to meet with my daughter. And what I don't take into consideration at first is that I have a lot of work to do. I mean, I have clients, I have deadlines, I have major articles I've committed to write, and I don't even have a laptop, so I can't even work, when I'm on the airplane. So I'm even more anxious when I get there. So, of course, I'm right. She has a surgery on Monday, and she spends the next 4 days flat on the couch. And I'm taking care of her, and I'm trying to work on her laptop, which really sucks. I mean, it's one of these little ubiquitous white Apple laptops that's 8 years old, and she's a struggling actress. I mean, she just cannot afford to replace this little computer, but she uses it all the time. And I'm trying to use it, and the mouse pad doesn't work, and the screen's about this big, and it's got this little spinning color wheel of doom. If you've ever had a Mac, you know what I'm talking about, So by the 4th day, I'm like a wreck. I mean, I'm a wreck. And I'm screaming at this computer, what is wrong with you? Why are you so slow? What the hell is going on here? And I hear this little voice behind me from the couch say, yelling doesn't help. I've tried. And I say, how do you work on this thing? I mean, I know you're on it all the time. How do you do this? And she says, I don't like to complain. It's difficult, but I don't like to complain. And I think, shit. So it's Christmas, right? It's right before Christmas. And so I watch the little spinning color wheel of doom a little bit longer. And then I text my husband and I say, how much money do we have in our accounts? And a few minutes later, he texts me back a figure. And I look at the number and I say to myself, the wolf is not at the door. The wolf is nowhere near the door. And so I take a deep breath and I turn around to her and I say, Leanne, I'm going to buy you a new laptop. oh my God, you're kidding. I say, no, but the deal is I get to use it first because I really need to do some work. And it's your Christmas present for the next 5 years. And we better go soon before I change my mind. Oh my God, if I'd known this was all it would take, I would have had you on my computer a long time ago. So she gets up, really carefully. She's not allowed to move her hips. And this is an actress in Los Angeles, right? So she never goes out without looking perfect, because you never know what director you might run into, in the mall. And she hasn't washed her hair for 5 days. She has no makeup on. She's wearing sweatpants. It doesn't matter. She's on her crutches. She very carefully goes out to the car. We drive to the mall. We get to the Apple store. The mall is like all Christmassy, the Christmas carols, the decorations. I'm like starting to hyperventilate, right? We go into the Apple store. Salesman is very nice. They start to debate the MacBook Pro versus the Apple Air versus the MacBook Pro. Finally, he gets a stool for her to sit on. I'm very grateful. And finally, I say to her, after they're deliberating all this stuff, would you please buy the Apple Air? I know it's the one you want, and the only reason you're not buying it is because it's a little more expensive. Buy the Apple Air. And she says, okay. But then to prove that she's my daughter, she says, can we have the student discount? She's 28. So he says, oh, are you a student? She says, yes. Oh, what are you studying? Psychology. Ah, where? UCLA. Huh. Where exactly is UCLA? What's the main street of UCLA? She does not know. The girl is like so busted, right? So I'm like exasperated, and I say, look, can I just pay for this computer and go in the food court and have a latte? And the guy says, okay. So he goes, takes my credit card, and he goes, and he comes back and he says, I gave you the student discount. I'm like, fine. I've just plunked down $1,300. You gave me $150. I'm thrilled. On the way out of the Apple store, I hear her say to him, I am so excited, but I keep thinking it's the Percocet, and I'm gonna wake up, and it's gonna all be a dream. So I go out into the mall, I go to the food court, I get my latte, I'm sitting there with my novel, and I'm hyperventilating still, and I'm thinking, God, I know I could have gotten a decent laptop on eBay for a lot less. So I'm sitting there, and it seems to be taking her forever, to get over to me. And finally, I see her coming, and she's very carefully on her crutches, and she's got this white, plastic backpack on with her new laptop in it. She's got a big smile on her face, and I think, oh my God, she looks for all the world like Tiny Tim. And for once, I don't feel like Scrooge.